This is WILT week 53, and 53 is also the number of Herbie from Herbie Fully Loaded. Yeah. And this intro is fully loaded up. Today is Monday, February 25th, and today I learned how to properly operate a toaster oven. Today in the morning I was going to warm up some English muffins. If you think this story is going to get any more interesting, I can assure you it's not. So I split an English muffin in half and then I put it in the toaster oven. And then I do what I do anytime I warm up my English muffins. I take the timer and I crank it all the way. I don't have like a time I set it to and then let it beep. I just kind of crank it and then just watch to see if they're warming up. And then I just yoink them when they're done, when they look good, you know? So they're in the toaster oven. I'm keeping my eyeballs on them. And like 7 or 8 minutes pass and I realize that just nothing is happening. I don't know why it took me 7 or 8 minutes to come to this realization. I think I was holding out for the toaster. I was like, oh, he's gonna do it. You got it, buddy. Just take your time. I'm not gonna rush you. But it's a toaster oven, not your like 7-year-old son on a little league team. You can't just like openly root for them and then they'll perform better. Toaster ovens actually are mechanical things that kind of either work or don't work. Kind of a weird analogy, but that is somehow the best analogy I came up with. So I look at the toaster and I realize that the heat is turned all the way down. And so I turn that heat all the way up like it usually is to like 450. And then what do you know? The toaster oven started working. I'm also now realizing that the story is simply just, I had a toaster oven, didn't realize the settings were wrong, confused why it wasn't working, realized settings were wrong, fixed settings, toaster worked fine. But I think the moral of the story is that whenever you're doing something and it's not going right, make sure you check all those variables you usually have in place to make sure they're in place. Because if those aren't right, then it's just gonna mess up your whole experience, your whole English muffin toaster experience. See, the tricky part about Monday is that it's the first day that people hear in these WILT videos. And the fact that I started it with an English muffin toaster story means that I've just lost all my viewers right here in the very beginning of the video. So if you're still watching, thank you. Mondays can't always be exciting, you know? Sometimes you just have a toaster English muffin Monday. And that's the most exciting thing that happens all day. Today is Tuesday, February 26th, and today I learned that something weird happens to my pants when it rains in Davis. See, my pants should be this color, but they're this color. The reason this area is so dry is because, okay, well that's inappropriate. The reason this part is so dry is because when I sit on a bike, I'm like, okay, this is gonna be a little difficult on my body because I don't really work out. Let's do like a sitting motion. This is really weird. But when you sit, you like cover this part so it's all dry, and then when you stand up, this part is just exposed. Well, you know, not in that way, but yes, it was very, very wet today. Almost looks like I'm wearing really, really short shorts and then really dark leggings. So yes, that is the status of Davis's weather. I've never filmed, or sorry, not, this isn't a movie. I've never recorded from this angle before. It's kind of weird. It's probably like one of the only times this will happen. So don't get too used to it because it's going away. It's kind of like holiday desserts because they only come around for a little bit and you're like, oh, I love that. And then it goes away and you're like, ah, oh, I got used to liking that so much. Okay, today is Wednesday, February 27th, and today I learned that not everyone knows how mics work. I'm not talking about how Michaels in this world function, I'm talking about how microphones work. So today in my math lecture, we had a substitute. For some reason my math professor was out. And so this substitute was teaching us, and the teachers usually always wear a little lapel mic. A mic that goes and attaches to your shirt. That way you can have your hands free to do whatever you want and, you know, write stuff, point. You have your hands if you need them. There's a lot of things you can do with your hands. I'm not going to list them all. Because how would you list them all? That seems weirdly impossible. So usually the lapel mic, you know, it goes right here. But this guy, for some reason, was like, you know what? Lapel mic? Nah. Lapalm mic. He was holding the mic. So instead of wearing the mic and then having your palms, your hands free, he decided to just hold it right here in front of him and then right on the board with his other hand. Well, this is where I learned that I don't think everyone knows how mics work, because he was holding it like right here, and when you hold a mic this close to your mouth, it picks up like every breath you take. Like the breath from your voice that hits the mic comes through and it basically blows out your ears. So he was just teaching with the mic right here So it just sounded like this. Yeah, and then we're gonna carry the X here and make sure you do this because it's very important that you do this. But the even weirder part is he didn't just keep it here. You know, it's his human arm, so naturally it kind of wavers. It kind of moves all over the place. Kind of sways in the wind. There's no wind in a classroom, but it's swaying. And so sometimes his hand would kind of sink, you know, down here. So when he was teaching, it would sound like this. Okay, and then you're gonna carry the X and make sure you do this and make sure you divide by 3. And then when he noticed that he kind of let his hand sink, he would pull it right up to his mouth again, and then suddenly you would go from this, and then we're gonna draw a chart, and it's gonna look fantastic, class, back to this. And once you multiply by 8, you should have your answer. So yes, today I learned that not everyone knows how mics work, because he just blew out our ears for 15 minutes straight, and I don't think he noticed it at all. Sometimes the mics peaked so high that it reminded me of myself from high school. Okay, bad joke. No, what I was saying was that sometimes the mic would peak so high that I could see people in front of me like visibly cringe, because the mic reaching that level actually like makes you physically want to go, ooh, I didn't like that. So yes, if you're ever like giving a presentation or teaching in class, make sure you find that sweet spot of where to hold a mic, or else you're just gonna get like 30 minutes to an hour of just, and this speech is great because I'm breathing right into the mic. And no one wants to listen to that. So make sure you know how mics work. What is this, like a mic tutorial channel? Just make sure you know how mics work. I think it would really improve the quality of your presentation. Today is Thursday, February 28th, and today I learned a useful hack or a useful tip on LinkedIn. Oh, you wanted me to tell you? Well, if you watch this video right here, that'll tell you the tip. Ah yes, the tip. Now, I'm looking at my computer screen right now, and if you're on your LinkedIn profile and you scroll up a little bit, you can see in the top right corner it says Edit Public Profile and URL. Well, if you go ahead and give that a click, it brings you up to this screen. And on this screen, you can go ahead and look at the top right again, and you can make your own personalized URL for your profile. So if I was to change this to, let's say, meat sandwich, if I was to edit my custom URL and make it meat sandwich, then if you search linkedin.com/in/meat sandwich, my profile would pop up. That is, of course, if I saved it as that. I'm not going to. So yes, if you want to appear more professional, more like you know what you're doing, you can go ahead and make your own custom URL on linkedin.com. I know, exquisite stuff here on this channel. From Meat Sandwich himself. Okay. Today is Friday, March 1st, and today I learned a little YouTube hack. Today I was watching a YouTube video when I accidentally like hit my hand on the keyboard. I don't know how that happened, but it did. And I must have hit the F key by accident, and then the video I was watching went full screen. So today I learned that if you press F while watching a YouTube video, if you're in minimized version, the video will go full screen, and if you're full screen, it'll minimize it. Small screen? Mini screen. Sunscreen. No, that's not, no, not that one. So yes, if you press F, the video will go full screen, and if you press F again, it'll go out of full screen into the little screen. Imagine that. You can change someone's size just by the press of a button. If you know what I mean. No, it only changes your size on a computer screen. So yeah, that was WILT Week 53. Thank you so much for watching, Alexandra. Make sure you leave a like on the video and follow me on Instagram. This week's question is, what did you think of that intro? I know. It's a little new, I know. I've done 50 episodes in a row of the same thing, and I decided to change it up a little. Change is scary, but I think it's necessary. I just felt like the old intro was just way too long, and it was a little old-fashioned. You know, it's time to move on. And speaking of moving on, I'm not ending the series, don't worry. I'm changing how I approach the series. Right now I'm like 15 wilts behind or something like that. You know, it's more than 10, which that's a lot, okay? And so I want these to come out when I actually record them, which means I need to catch up. And in order to catch up, I'm going to reduce the editing just a little bit, like I did in this video. So I'm also very curious, how did you like this video? Because usually wilts take me like upwards of 20+ hours to edit, but this one was a little more manageable. So If you like this, please let me know, because this is totally doable, and I think I can, you know, pump it out if I can do this all the time. And plus, I want to be making other stuff. I don't want to spend an entire week making one WILT and then not have time to do anything else. So with this new format, it'll allow me to make even more content, which I think in long term, it's gonna pay off. I'm gonna get to make more content I like, and WILTs will come out when I actually record them. So yes, exciting changes are happening. I hope you're excited for them. And yeah, thanks for watching. Make sure you eat sweet and savory, and I'll see you next time for WILT Week 54.